guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor, and today I am going to do a chatty work with me. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I stay motivated and my time management skills for reselling full-time. Show you what I typically do with bulk listing day, which is today. I'm going to share some sales with you as well and just kind of chit chat how I'm adapting and changing things for this new year. So let's just jump right in. We got a lot of work to do and I'm going to take you along with me. We are working with a good amount of items. We will be probably doing, I think, 20 items. Sorry, my cat's very, hi Mar. She's very talkative today. So we're gonna do about 20 photos today. I'm gonna do some measurements and show you some listings. And yeah, I'll probably just work with you guys. All right, hopefully you can see me. This is not an awkward angle. So I am gonna take all of my measurements first. That's what I typically like to do. It's just kind of the first thing in my process. So I'm gonna go ahead and take everything off this little rack. I'm back. So I will show you my little setup. First thing, sorry, hopefully you guys can see me in the, I'll just take off the hat. I thought the hat would help with like getting work done, but let me show you. Okay, so I have the important things here, which I did change this out because I used to use a just pad and piece of paper, but I found that I was going through a lot of pieces of paper. So I like to jot like 5 or 6 down here, take a picture, and then I can revisit it. And this is for measurements. I got my little setup, cat, and then all of the items that I'm going to measure, photograph, and list today. How I stay motivated, how I think reselling is changing, and what I'm doing differently is I wrote some key things on here, and I guess the first thing that I'm doing differently to combat the differences that I'm seeing in reselling is I am just stepping back. I'm slowing down because I have noticed, just a change. I've noticed my sales, and this will go into just my sales in general, but I think across the board, I've kind of noticed it also, with other resellers I watch, they have mentioned that slower sales. And I think that for me, there is this type of hustle culture that it's not just within the reselling community, but it is heavily in the reselling community that if you're not listing, you're not making money. So for me, it put a lot of pressure. If I'm being honest with you, it put so much pressure on myself to stick to these numbers that I couldn't stick to this unrealistic expectation of myself that I couldn't do. And I'm so sorry if you hear the birds. My cat really likes hearing the birds and seeing them, so I have the door open. So I have my microphone on, so hopefully it doesn't disrupt you, but let me know if it does. But yeah, like I was saying, I think that with the hustle culture, I just put all these pressures on myself. And I'm sure that, let me know if you guys can relate to any of this, but I just felt like if I wasn't able to list 20 or 30 a day, that I wouldn't make good sales. Or that if I couldn't find items that would sell, that had 100% sell-through rate, or that were $50 or over, that I wouldn't make sales. And I would beat myself up over it. And this year, I'm really, like I said, I'm stepping back. I'm telling myself that yes, I need to make money from reselling. I am taking that pressure off myself. I'm just reeling it back in, and I'm trying to get back to the core of why I started reselling, which was for the treasure hunt, the fun of it. And while I know that I can't, I'm not saying I'm gonna go out and, like look for items every day, but I miss that feeling of having fun with reselling, and what YouTube has given me, and I'm so grateful that I started YouTube, because I had no idea that I would love making videos the way that I truly do, is YouTube has given me a way to be creative with reselling again. And not to say that reselling is not creative. I was just feeling like very mundane. I was doing the same thing over and over. I say all this just to say that I just want to get back to, not having so much pressure on myself. That's the biggest thing that I'm changing. And, basically how I stay organized is I allow myself to have different days to do different tasks. Like today, you're seeing me do all the work day. And this all ties together with motivation, because if I'm not motivated to do my work, then I have to set up a schedule that I feel motivated doing. So if I set up a schedule that I'm not excited to work on, that doesn't benefit me. You know what I mean? So and this is trial and error. There used to be days, or there were years where I could list every single day, and now I'm at a point where I cannot do that. I just can't. And for a long time I would feel bad. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make sales, but I'm like, you know what? As long as I stay consistent, I think, weekly, I should be okay. I also don't want to feel the pressure to constantly have to buy, to constantly have to list, to constantly have to do all these things, and there's a lot of pressure when it comes to full-time reselling. There truly is. Anyone that says, oh, it's sunshine and rainbows, it's not true. It's difficult. Don't get me wrong, I love reselling. I will probably always be a reseller at some capacity, because I can't see myself not being a reseller. I just don't know if I would do it full-time forever. That's what I'm trying to change. I started a YouTube channel to kind of also branch out and give myself that creative outlet, but also to diversify, to being full transparent. I don't want to, I think a lot of people that start YouTube in hopes that they could make something out of it. And I love YouTube. I think it's so fun, and I want it to be in conjunction to my reselling, because it heightens the reselling for me. It's so much more fun to show you guys and take you on thrift with me's than it is just to go to the thrift store by myself. I feel like I'm bringing my friends with me to the thrift store, and we're all hanging out, and we're all having a good time looking for stuff. It may sound weird, but that's how I feel. And it makes the experience more fun, if I'm being honest with you. I don't want this to come across as negative, because I think change is so important, and I think it is something that is positive and that I am embracing. So hopefully my messaging is coming off correctly. I'm just trying to get back to what's going to work for me and, for my reselling journey. Isn't this cool? I'm probably going to show you guys this in a haul video, but this is a vintage Ralph Lauren, I think it's a men's pony, sweater. Yeah, super cute. That's kind of where I'm at, and how I stay motivated. I hope my messaging comes across correctly. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be, that I'm giving up on reselling. I love reselling. I think there's so many great things about reselling, but I want to make room for, everything in my life that I love. I don't want just one thing in my life to take over the other thing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to just resell, I have other things in my life that I want to do, which makes me, which kind of leads me to my next thing, is just with slowing down. Oh, you've decided to sit. With slowing down, it gives me the ability to take breaks. It gives me the ability to spend time with my family or go on camping trips. I love going camping. Camping is really, really fun to me. It's a way for me to kind of relax and just basically have a reset. I have to figure out how reselling can work for me, and I think it can. Honestly, that's why I go back to what I was saying before, is reselling is what you make it. I have to do what, is good for me mentally, and so I can continue reselling at the level that I want to. I have to be understanding that, I'm going to change, and with that, reselling can change with me too. And there's nothing wrong with that. My hope is to have this video and like somebody that may be experiencing the same thing as me feel that, it's okay not to have all these pressures on yourself. It is. I think we live in a world where the hustle culture is so prevalent, and it's not just in the reselling community, it's pretty much everywhere. And it's healthy and good for us not to always be in that hustle mindset. It's not good. Yes, growing your business is amazing, and it's such a fun experience, but you need time of rest. You need time for clarification and resets. Like, it's extremely important. And if I'm being honest with you, I neglected it for a long time. And I think this is why I'm experiencing some feelings of burnout and feelings of just being overwhelmed, So yeah, I'll go into kind of my sourcing and how that's kind of changed for myself a little bit for my business. Is I am still sourcing a good amount, I would say 30 to 40 items, but I'm really trying to focus on those items that, that I'm excited to list, because that's a big thing, is like if I get that item home and I put it on my rack and I'm not excited to list it, it's very hard to stay motivated. So that is one way I stay motivated too, by the way, is I try to find things that I'm excited about, that I'm happy to find. And yes, I'm still excited to find bread and butter. I'm not saying I have to go out and find $50 items. That makes me excited. I'm excited. Like, I found this really cool Ed Hardy shirt. I'm excited about this. This is not probably going to resell for a ton of money, but I'm excited. And that's what I mean, just honing in on that excitement part, and that part that sparks joy and kind of makes me happy. Or check this out. Look at this. Beautiful patchwork dress. I'm so excited to list this. And this is why I want to bring you guys along on the journey. Like, I don't want to paint this picture that I don't struggle with things, because I do. And hence, I'm struggling with burnout right now as we speak. But me as a person, I try to find the silver lining in things. I always have, and I always will. It's my personality, and it'll never change. I like to see the good things of every situation, no matter how bad they may be. I choose to be a happy person because it makes me feel better. So when I'm feeling burnt out, instead of getting down on myself for feeling that way, I use it as a way to, what's going wrong with what I'm doing? Because that's what basically it is. Burnout is trying to give you signals to yourself. This is my personal opinion. It's trying to give you signals and tell you, okay, there's something that you're doing right now that may not be aligning with what you really want to do. Let's reevaluate. Let's see what we can do to make those changes. So on that note, I'm going to continue working, we're almost done, and I will check back in with you when I have done all of my pictures and listings. Okay, be right back. Okay, so after a break and a little snack, there is my pile, there is my rack. Yeah, and I only found one item that needs to be washed. And I forgot to mention that I do steam as I'm going. Sorry, my cat is eating in the background. But I do steam as I go. So this is just what works for me. There's my little steamer. I would like to get a better one in the future, but for right now, this definitely works for me. I am next going to move to pulling some sales. I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of me pulling some sales, just to kind of give you guys a glimpse of how I pull sales, and just to give you an update on kind of how it also keeps me organized. And for reference, I do try to take my time when I take photos and do my measurements, just because photos are the way that my items are gonna sell. So I started this process around 10 o'clock and now it's 11:47. So it's about 2 hours, and for reference, I did about 24 items. It might be a little slower, but I'm just being transparent. I'm not fast when it comes to photos, and that's why I kind of give myself some time. Okay, so we are in my closet to pull my orders. So what I like to do is I have a label, like a thermal printer. I use the Rollo and I was gifted it, so I definitely think it's worth the money, but I know there are cheaper options out there. So I have pulled a couple, so I just write where the item is and the bin number. I think I just have a couple more, so I'm gonna pull them, and hopefully this is a good angle. So another way that I stay motivated is having an organized inventory. So before, I actually did not have any organization, just clear bins with a bunch of items in them. So lately I've been going through this, and it has really alleviated a lot of stress that I had before. Alright, so I'm going to show you everything that sold for me. These have been the past couple days, so a little bit slower, but that's okay. I'm still grateful for the sales that are coming through, and yeah, hopefully you guys could see. Sorry, I just don't have the best lighting in that closet, but I just wanted to show you that I do have to pull my boxes down. It does kind of suck, but it's okay. Eventually I'll get a shelf or change it up somehow. But these are some Free People Beach. These are some really cute, like, pair of pull-on Harlem pants. I don't know, somebody let me know that I pronounced them wrong. So they are just stretchy, relaxed fit pants, and those sold on eBay, and they did not take very long to sell. I sourced them. I would say they took about like 2 months to sell. This next piece to sell, this sold for $22. I wrote this down from Poshmark, and this is just a really cute Lululemon sweater, and it's called the Yogi sweater. That's a little medallion, and yeah, I also sourced this kind of recently, maybe like 2 months ago, and sold for $22, so not too bad. Next piece to sell is a brand that I do like picking up sometimes. It just kind of depends on the piece that I find. So this is a soft surroundings piece, and everything I've picked up so far, I believe, has been from the bins. Yes. So, and this soft surroundings is a size 2X. So I did pick it up based on the 2X size. And then I noticed that they're kind of like printed, very loose fitting maxi dresses that have a lot going for them. They tend to do pretty well for me. If it's a dress and it has substantial factors and sellable factors, I would still pick it up for me personally, and I did find that at the bins. This next piece also brought to you by the bins. This is Marine Layer, and this is really cute, like, I think they're called camp shirts, or like short sleeve shirts for men. They have really cute little parrots. It did sell on Poshmark as well for $17. Marine Layer is kind of a brand I have to be careful with. I definitely would not pay up for it anymore. Next piece to sell, this sold on Poshmark. This is an Abercrombie & Fitch, size small. These are, again, if you can see a fact, like if you can see kind of a reoccurring theme, these are some pull-on pants. They have an embroidered like flower print, very beachy, relaxed fit. I honestly had the Marine Layer and the Abercrombie pants for a little while, definitely over 6 months. I would probably not pick up Abercrombie. I've noticed kind of it's been sitting a lot for me, especially their jeans. So I definitely won't pick up their jeans as much anymore. But I think some things with Abercrombie, like their dresses, can still perform well. If you saw my haul video, then you will see this. This is a rag & bone kind of little men's Henley top. And this sold on eBay for, I believe, around $20. They sent me an offer. I think it was listed for $28, and they sent me a $20 offer, and I did accept. I do like rag & bone, especially the men's pieces. I notice they tend to sell faster for me than women's. The last piece to sell is a piece that I've gone back and forth with the buyer. They've had some issues with their address, but I'm glad it all worked out. So this is a Rockstar kind of full zip jacket. This is very Y2K, and anything that is like Rockstar drinks, energy, like Monster Energy, if you can find those, they sell and do pretty well. This sold on eBay for $35.99 plus shipping. So there you have it. That is all my tasks today. Thank you guys so much for working with me, just measuring and just chilling out with me and just talking. Let me know down below if any of that resonated with you. How do you guys feel that reselling is going this new year? I would love to know. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, bye.